Strategic planning. Your city spent $847 million to make your commute suck. You know that feeling when you're stuck in traffic, wondering why someone built a 6-lane highway through downtown? This wasn't an accident. It was strategic planning gone wrong. Let's start with the biggest villain. Strategic planning. This is the long-term vision stuff that looks important in city council meetings. Think 30-year master plans with policy frameworks that shape everything from housing density to transportation networks. Remember when your city promised that new development would revitalize downtown? That's strategic planning. Problem is, most cities plan like they're playing SimCity on easy mode. They create 20-year visions without considering how neighborhoods actually evolve or what residents genuinely need. Copenhagen nailed this with their 2025 carbon neutral goal. They didn't just write pretty documents. They built bike infrastructure before people needed it. They planned green energy systems while other cities were still debating climate change. They coordinated housing, transportation, and environmental policies as one integrated strategy. Your city probably did the opposite. Strategic planning requires political courage to make unpopular decisions early. Next up, land use planning, also known as why you can't walk anywhere. This determines what goes where through zoning laws that control residential, commercial, industrial, and public space allocation. You've seen this disaster everywhere. Residential areas miles from shops, office parks surrounded by parking lots, strip malls next to highways, industrial zones cutting through neighborhoods. This is Euclidean zoning, and it's systematically ruining American cities by forcing car dependency. Compare that to Tokyo's mixed-use approach. Restaurants, homes, and offices blend together seamlessly. You can grab ramen from downstairs in your apartment. Public spaces emerge naturally between buildings. Meanwhile, your suburb requires a 15-minute car ride to buy milk. This is zoning law forcing spatial separation between where people live, work, shop, and play. Single-family zoning covers 75% of most American cities, making affordable housing illegal and sustainable transportation impossible. The result? Americans spend 26% of their income on transportation, while in mixed-use cities, it's 8%. Land use planning literally determines how much money you have left after paying for basic mobility. Master planning is the comprehensive blueprint integrating all urban systems and development. Think of it as the city's architectural DNA that coordinates all urban systems into one coherent design. Barcelona's superblocks are master planning done right. They grouped 9 city blocks, banned through traffic, and created community spaces in the middle. Every intersection became a small plaza. Buildings gained ground floor retail. Streets transformed from traffic sewers into actual public spaces. Our result? 70% less noise pollution, 21% reduction in air pollution, and 32% increase in green space. Your city's master plan probably looks like someone threw spaghetti at a wall. Highways cutting through neighborhoods with no regard for community cohesion, industrial zones next to schools because nobody coordinated land use, transit lines that don't connect to major destinations because transportation planners didn't talk to housing developers. Master planning requires understanding that everything connects to everything else. Urban revitalization sounds noble, but it's often code for displacing poor people with expensive condos. This involves renewal and regeneration of declining neighborhoods and brownfield sites, but execution usually benefits developers more than residents. Detroit tried this wrong for decades. They demolished entire neighborhoods, built downtown stadiums and convention centers, hoped for economic magic. Spoiler, it didn't work. They spent billions on showcase projects while basic services collapsed in most neighborhoods. Medellin, Colombia did it right. They built cable cars connecting hillside slums to downtown jobs. They invested in residents before real estate. Crime dropped 60%. Property values rose, but residents could afford to stay. One approach treats symptoms with flashy projects. The other addresses root causes by investing in people. Detroit focused on attracting outsiders. Medellin focused on empowering insiders. Guess which approach most American cities choose? They chase the creative class with expensive amenities while ignoring existing communities. Then they wonder why revitalization creates resentment instead of renewal. Economic development planning is supposed to create jobs and generate municipal revenue through strategic business district development. Usually it means giving Amazon a $1 billion tax break while small businesses struggle with red tape. Singapore mastered this differently. They planned their economy like a chess game spanning decades. They built the world's best port, then attracted logistics companies, added precision manufacturing, then financial services. Your city probably chases whatever's trendy without strategic thinking. Tech hubs, innovation districts, creative zones. without considering if they fit your existing economy or workforce capabilities. Most economic development plans fail spectacularly while burning taxpayer money on consultant reports. The problem is short-term thinking. Politicians want ribbon cuttings and job announcements before the next election. Meanwhile, American cities compete against each other with tax incentives, creating a race to the bottom that benefits corporations while starving public services of revenue. Environmental planning addresses climate change, air quality, and resource management through sustainable design. Most cities treat this like an expensive afterthought that can be delayed indefinitely. You know those heat waves getting worse every summer? That's partly bad environmental planning. Cities create heat islands by covering everything in asphalt and removing trees. Urban temperatures run 8 degrees hotter than surrounding areas. Copenhagen plants trees strategically to cool specific neighborhoods while reducing stormwater runoff. They built green roofs that prevent flooding while reducing energy costs by 30%. Melbourne created green corridors, connecting parks across the city. These function as urban lungs, wildlife highways, and recreational networks. Meanwhile, your city probably cut the tree budget to fund another highway expansion, then wonders why summers feel like living in an oven and flooding keeps getting worse. Environmental planning isn't about hugging trees, it's about avoiding billion-dollar climate disasters. Infrastructure planning coordinates transportation, utilities, and public service systems design. It's invisible when it works, catastrophic when it fails, and expensive either way. Remember when Texas's power grid collapsed during that winter storm? That's infrastructure planning failure. No backup systems, no coordination between providers, no consideration of extreme weather scenarios. The result? 750 lives lost and $50 billion in damage. The Netherlands built infrastructure assuming climate change is real. Their water management systems handle massive storms while generating clean energy. Most American cities still plan infrastructure like it's 1950. Water pipes from the Eisenhower administration, electrical grids designed before air conditioning was common, bridges built when cars weighed half as much. Then they act surprised when bridges collapse and water systems fail. Infrastructure planning requires thinking 50 years ahead, while politicians think 2 years ahead. See, the American Society of Civil Engineers gives U.S. infrastructure a C- grade. Urban design is the human scale stuff. Physical form, streetscapes, public spaces, and built environment design that determines whether your city feels alive or lifeless. Walk through downtown Copenhagen. Wide sidewalks with weather protection, protected bike lanes that feel safe for 8-year-olds, places to sit every 100 feet, streets designed for lingering, not just moving through. Now think about your city's downtown. Probably designed for cars, not humans. Narrow sidewalks that force pedestrians single file. No shade, no places to rest, no reason to stay. Streets that feel like highways cutting through buildings, parking lots where public spaces should be. This is what happens when engineers design public spaces without consulting anyone who actually uses them. Good urban design makes people healthier and happier by encouraging walking, social interaction, and community connection. Cities with quality urban design see 23% more foot traffic, 18% higher retail sales, and 15% better mental health outcomes. Bad design makes people drive everywhere and stay indoors. It's not just aesthetics. It's public health policy disguised as street design. Next time you're paying $4.50 for gas while stuck in traffic for 45 minutes to shop 15 minutes away, remember, this isn't natural. This is planned. Someone decided your neighborhood shouldn't have a grocery store. Someone chose to build parking lots instead of housing near transit. These aren't accidents. They're policy choices that shape your daily life, your budget, and your health. Good news? Cities can change these policies overnight. Bad news? Most won't until citizens demand better planning decisions that prioritize people over profits. What is the worst planning decision ruining your city? Leave your biggest urban planning disaster in the comments below so we can discuss it. So don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to catch that video.